On the women's side, there's just not as many opportunities for us as the men still to continue training at a high level after college.
I want to see us being paid equally as the men. If we are out there competing, you want to enjoy us.
I was the first female equestrian from Thailand to compete in the Olympics.
For other women in the sport, we really have our chance to show what we can do.
Went to 8 World Championships, 1 gold and 7 silver, 2 Olympics, the first one in 1998 where women's ice hockey was introduced.
If you're playing sports, if you're somebody who plays on women's teams, and you see me doing what I'm doing and you want to do it too, like you can.
I was keeping up with the boys. I was putting up a fight. 3 years later, they rolled out, all right, we're going to have the first ever women's camp.
Hey everyone, Jamie here. We're gonna try something different. We've now interviewed over 350 exceptional women athletes from over 55 countries around the world. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mash up conversation. Let's jump in.
Alex Glaudé picks up the win and a spot on the national team and a nice little go behind, great transition from Glaudé, and she's gonna pick up 2. Now she goes to work on top.
And running out of time, Glaudé takes it. She'll have the opportunity to make Final X, the World Team Trials, but Alex Glaudé back in Final X.
My name is Alexandria Glaudé, and I'm a freestyle wrestler for Team USA.
Now, I have to ask you about being a female wrestler. So wrestling, very traditionally male-dominated sport. I believe it's one of the fastest growing women's sports in the United States, which makes me so pumped. What can we do to help spread awareness, spread the word, get more women into wrestling?
So there's lots of different organizations already that are trying to help continue to grow the sport. Wrestle Like a Girl, Beat the Streets. Beat the Streets has, a sect in a ton of different states right now. And it's not just focused on women's wrestling, but they are providing a lot of opportunities for women and men in the sport and helping these underserved communities provide access to wrestling. So I think finding different organizations like that, and I can also send some to you too, and helping just shed light on them and also helping send resources. I think financially that would be huge to help just continue to provide opportunities for these up and coming generations of athletes. And then even at the senior level too, on the women's side, there's just not as many opportunities for us as the men still to continue training at a high level after college. Yeah, so we have the Olympic Training Center as an option in Colorado Springs, and there used to be these organizations called regional training centers. I just recently moved to the California Regional Training Center based out of Stanford University. I was previously with the Beaver Dam Regional Training Center at Oregon State, Oregon.
Big new facility record, Natoya Goule will win the women's 1,000.
Off and running, the favorite is Natoya Goule. Natoya Goule with the lead in the women's 800 meters.
Natoya Goule coming down the home straight now.
My name is Natoya Goule-Toppin. I am from Jamaica, and I am an 800-meter specialist for Jamaica, and I represent Adidas as well.
So much to catch up on because I know you are a 3-time Olympian, you're a brand ambassador. What is the future of women's sports that you want to see?
I want to see us being paid equally as the men. If we are out there competing, you want to enjoy us. We can entertain you in a way that you want to go. Like, I was a part of an all-women track and trail meet last year in New York.
Oh, we went to Atlas.
Yes, and that support that we get, I was like, wow, they actually like us. They actually like us. So
incredible.
I am looking forward to seeing more stuff come out for women. You know, like they want us, especially women basketball. I don't think they get as much support as the men.
They don't, not even close.
Yeah, so I would want to see every women's sport being able to showcase their talent and not being paid less. And there are persons out there supporting them and not being bored and not saying that we're not equal to men and all those things. Come on.
If we weren't here, no one would be here, so.
Yes.
Her name is Nina Ligon, a collegiate grad and Stanford-bound eventer.
Nina Ligon remembers getting on a horse for the first time as a 3-year-old in Thailand. 17 years later, and Nina will represent the country she was born in the London Olympics. Nina will be one of 75 athletes riding in the equestrian competition known as eventing.
I'm Nina Ligon. I am a former competitive equestrian in this equestrian sport called 3-day eventing. It's the triathlon of the equestrian world, and that was about over a decade ago. I competed for Thailand in the London 2012 Olympics. So competing for Thailand and choosing to do that when I turned eligible age felt like a way for me to reconnect to that culture and be really deeply ingrained in my Thai upbringing, and also to help promote the sport in a place where there wasn't a rich tradition the way that the UK has or the US has of this sport, and just really kind of help to grow the sport there. I was the first female equestrian from Thailand to compete in the Olympics. We did have one of the male competitors in, I want to say it was Beijing, which was great because he kind of paved the way for me. He was a big supporter in my journey and kind of helping me see like, oh, this is possible. And it was really cool to be able to build on that momentum. And then a couple years later to see that Thailand qualified and sent a team to Tokyo was just the most incredible experience. And that there was another young woman who had been kind of up and coming when I was training for Thailand, who got to go on that team. I think it really shows the impact of being able, to, if you can see it, you can be it. And I think that that was big for me, and that was big for the next generation as well.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, this is a really fantastic play. One of the favorites for the medals in Paris as well, and this year in the World Championships.
My name is Claire Taggart. I live in Northern Ireland, but I compete for the United Kingdom, and my sport is boccia. Until after the Paralympics in Tokyo, men and women in boccia competed together. It was a mixed classification, but after Tokyo, it's now gone to male only, female only. And I think for me, and for other women in the sport, we really have our chance to show what we can do, show how we can compete with the best of them. So I think that that's a really good thing. And obviously being a disabled person, again, I don't know what it's like in America or any other country. It's really challenging in the UK, and that's only speaking from my experience. And I guess without boccia, I wouldn't know how to do a lot of things in my life, because whenever you're either diagnosed with a disability, you develop a disability, or you're born with a disability. There's from my experience, there's no guidebook. Nobody hands you a guidebook. This is how to do this. This is how to get that. These are the people to reach out to. You have to do a lot of that legwork, pardon the pun, on your own.
This week, the renowned judoka welcomes Fatau to the dojo. Asmaa Niang has won several gold medals during her tour. The athlete is training martial arts licensees all week in Papeete.
So I am Asmaa Niang, an Olympic athlete, Rio, Tokyo. I participated in Rio 2016 and Tokyo 2020 with COVID. My journey is a bit unusual, a bit quirky, because the Olympic dream came to me late. So I am an athlete with long longevity. And the message I want to leave, that I really want to leave, is to all the women who don't necessarily do high-level sports, women, if they all watched, because football, the boys, they watch them, they have people watching them. That means in the end, these women need them, meaning it's also these women who should give us strength to increase this visibility. Because I've looked at it from all sides. We don't have sponsors because nobody watches us. I've thought about where this comes from, and I realized we don't have a fan base. For me, on Instagram, 15% of my followers are women. 15% statistics of women follow me. That's the reality. And yet, I'm a woman, I talk about certain things. Maybe it's because I don't talk about things that could interest women, but they could very well give strength just by watching a woman do this. And I think it comes from that, the fact that I also bring attention to the side of women who are there, whether they're feminists or they want to uplift other women. But in fact, these athletes need you to watch them, so we have more visibility, more strength. That women, we help each other with this. And especially, specifically in sports.
Que les femmes, on s'entraide là-dessus. Et surtout, spécifiquement dans le sport.
Centering pass and a goal! Tipped in by Shelley Looney. Shelley Looney sat and stood at the side of the goal. and waited patiently.
My name's Shelley Looney. I used to play women's ice hockey. Now I'm in the coaching world. I played 13 years on the national team. Went to 8 world championships, 1 gold and 7 silver, 2 Olympics, the first one in 1998 where women's ice hockey was introduced to that platform, and we came home with a gold. I happened to have scored the game-winning goal and then was able to go back 4 years later to Salt Lake City and came home with a silver. So back, when I was younger, I didn't have female athletes to look up to in women's ice hockey. And nowadays, they look up to the pros or the girls on the national team, but now they can look up to the college players. And, I was at the game last week, and to see all the little girls in the stands and support of the school, we didn't have that, and so it's amazing and wonderful feeling for them to have that opportunity.
Okay, so I gotta ask, who were your sports role models then? Because a lot of what we try to do is to elevate incredible women like yourself and other women from around the world, because we believe if you can see it, if you can hear it, you can be it. Right. So who did you look up to when you were a young athlete?
Out of Michigan, I grew up in Michigan. So there was a woman, Lisa Brown, her name's Lisa Brown Miller now, but so she would come back and play and practice with us when I was in high school, and she was at Princeton University playing. And so when she would come back, I'd be like, she's so amazing. Like, I was in awe, and I just wanted to be like, I hope I get to be, that good and be able to play in college hockey someday. So I did have someone to look up to in that sense, and it just happened in 1998. We were actually teammates and line mates in the Olympics. Oh. So kind of came full circle. So that was pretty neat.
Asia Hogan started playing rugby only a year and a half ago, but has already made her mark on the field.
Hogan-Rochester over on the far side there. Steps through.
For the Canadian women's team, it's their first time back playing on home soil since capturing a silver medal at the Olympics in Paris this summer.
Yeah, so my name is Asia Hogan-Rochester. I am a Toronto born and raised native, and I now represent the women's rugby sevens team for Team Canada, and am coming off the back of an Olympic silver medal win for the country as well. I'm from the inner city of Toronto, didn't always grow up having the money to pay for extracurriculars, so sports being included in that. There's so many intersections that come along with those things. And for me, when you put all those things together, sometimes it can amount to not as much access to different, again, like extracurriculars. Totally. And opportunities and seeing people that look like you and sound like you, etc.
I absolutely love it. And a big part of what we try to do is to elevate lots of different role models. I see you as an incredible role model and leader within sports. So what is the type of message that you would want to convey for people from those different communities that you're a part of?
I would hope to show people from those communities, in summary, like, you can do it too. It's not for other people. If you're playing sports, if you're somebody who plays on women's teams, and you see me doing what I'm doing and you want to do it too, like, you can. Don't wait to be confident. Don't wait to put yourself out there. Even, like, don't wait to see somebody who looks like you to do it. You do it and be that person for somebody else.
That is such incredible advice, and I wish I had that advice when I was younger too.
We are so proud to have her represent Cranford and the United States at these international games.
Catarina sees only the positive side, competing to become a better athlete and a better person.
Hi, my name is Catarina Guimarães. I go by Kat, and I am a Paralympian for Team USA. I'm also a U.S. Soccer World Cup MVP, and an author, and a dog mom. I did get invited to an all-boys camp. Towards the end of 2019, I was the only girl there. And Nick Mayhew was actually visited for a day too, which was pretty cool. It was the first time I ever met Nick. And a couple of the other men's CP soccer athletes were at that camp as well. And I was not the worst, let me tell you. I was keeping up with the boys. I was putting up a fight. 3 years later, January, I want to say like 19th or something like that, they rolled out, all right, we're going to have the first ever women's camp. And I was invited. It was in Florida. Then there was another camp that I couldn't go to because of a competition. And then we had the World Cup that May. And it was honestly pretty quick. Like, I did not even know what was happening half the time. The flight to Spain was tough because I had gotten COVID like a couple months before, and I have a hole in my eardrum. But the plane pressure combined with having like COVID before, made me so I couldn't hear out of his ears. Now I'm playing soccer and I can't really hear very well. And I've never met half of these girls before in my life. So it was kind of just, we're going here and we're going to do the best we can. I had so much fun though. I've never played, we had 5 games in 5 days. It was the most intense thing ever. We played 5-a-side, 25-minute halves. It was so hot that they had to give water breaks every 10 minutes. Brain injuries in general, but especially cerebral palsy and thermoregulation don't really mix. I can't really control my own body temperature super well, which is why California's great, because it's an even keel temperature pretty much the whole time. I didn't expect to win MVP or anything like that. It was kind of crazy to me that I even won. I was just out there having fun and playing soccer and trying to be part of a team. And then when they announced it, my mom and my grandma started crying. So my grandparents are from Portugal, and they drove down from Portugal to Spain to watch. And they brought their dog, and the dog ran out of the field when I got MVP. Really cute.
Thanks for joining us. If you like what you're hearing, please leave us a positive review. If you want to impact the future stories we tell, take our community survey in the notes section of this podcast or in the YouTube links. We want to hear from you. Stay tuned for our next episode. If you're not following the Flame Bearers channel, covering resilient women Olympians and Paralympians, hearing about their struggles, hopes, and triumphs, you don't know what you're missing. Subscribe and watch new episodes of Flame Bearers now.